It's not a Muslim ban. It's not. Not a Muslim ban. Muslims can still enter the U.S. from countries where Trump has business interests, or from countries whose nationals have committed acts of terrorism on American soil. It's a ban against travel from other countries with Muslim majorities whose citizens have never committed acts of terrorism on American soil, but who might because they're Muslims.
Yeah.
Guns don't kill people, people kill people. Well, the same is true of Islam. It's not the religion, it's what some people choose to do with it. The big difference? Muslims don't have an NRA. But Islam causes Muslims to commit terrorism. It's in the Quran. No, it doesn't, and no, it isn't. There are specific bans in the Quran against killing innocents. People who are killers are killers. Lots of people have used religion as a cover because nobody wants to believe they're evil. They cherry pick out of context religious statements to convince themselves that their killing is sanctified by God. Also, David Berkowitz's neighbor's dog told him to become the son of Sam. John Hinckley was inspired to shoot Ronald Reagan by Jodie Foster. Nobody has suggested banning dogs or Jodie Foster. Then there's Timothy McVeigh. Remember old Tim, who blew up a daycare facility? And Eric Rudolph, the Olympic park bomber? And Wade Page in Wisconsin? All domestic terrorists, and all were motivated by their belief in Christianity. Like the armed militia groups around the U.S., stockpiling arms and openly committed to overthrowing the U.S. government. Did anyone call for a travel ban or registry for Christians? No, because people separated mainstream Christians from these lunatics. Here's the math. White Christian terrorist, a lone nut. Muslim terrorist, indicative of all Muslims, all 1 billion of them. 1 billion! That's like every hamburger McDonald's has ever served ever. The San Bernardino, Fort Hood, and Orlando nightclub shooters were all American citizens, and they were all Muslims. Somehow, these people developed the notion that they were unwelcome or second-class citizens in their homeland and found comfort and belonging among America's enemies. Gee, what could ever give them that idea? And yeah, shut up. It doesn't excuse their actions in the least, but it does show that the best way to get your neighbors to turn on you is to make them feel like a turd in the punch bowl. So this half-assed Muslim ban is not going to cut down on terrorism, it's going to stimulate it. And not just against white Americans, but against Muslim Americans, as the rise in U.S. hate crimes has shown across the country. The travel ban is a way of telling people with violent xenophobia, go for it, attaboy. Hey, maybe that's what Trump wants. More terrorism to protect America from. Before 9/11, W was regarded as an amiable moron, widely seen as the illegitimate beneficiary of a compromised electoral process. Sound familiar? Then after the towers came down, America rallied around their leader and all that went away. And the only possible way to get the entire country to rally behind President Trump is a major terrorist attack. Could this be why Trump is deliberately inflaming Muslims? No, because that would require planning and forethought. And those were banned before the Muslims. I'm Ed the Sock. I'm nobody's puppet. Don't you be either. Aloha.